When did you start doing audio production? You had to have a reel-to-reel.
I had two. Actually, I've got a picture of this too. I had two reel-to-reels, and one was set down like this, and then one was set up like this.
Right.
So you would record on the one reel-to-reel,
Right.
and then you would take what was recorded on that and put it on the other, on one of the two channels on the other reel-to-reel.
Right. So this is the 1930s or 40s. How?
Yeah. This is actually late 1960s.
1960s.
It's after reel-to-reels started doing stereo. You
Right.
know, they started. I think the first stereo 45 was a Doors thing called "Hello, I Love You."
So you were in a band and you wanted to record yourselves.
Yeah, but I also wanted to record, art people singing and performing. So, but I wanted to be able to control the guitar volume versus the voice volume. So they would record the guitar track, okay, and I would take the guitar track and I'd bring it down and then add a vocal track.
What was the first time you were ever able to record something?
Boy, that'd be like 1966.
Okay.
The Dubonnays were on the Jerry Razor show, and we got an old...
Your own band?
Yeah, the Dubonnays.
Okay.
So the very first actual audio recording, so we got an old Wallensack tape recorder and put one of these little funky microphones into the speaker of the TV.
Yeah.
Okay, because you couldn't record the video.
Yeah.
And you just...
Hooked.
You started...
Do you have that?
I've got a portion of it.
Wow.
And we it was done at our guitar player's house, and because his brother was kind of technologically advanced at the time, so he knew to start it at a certain time. We couldn't trust the parents or somebody that went into it, so he started it and we got the recording. But that was the first really audio recording.
You have a portion of
Well, I don't know. I don't remember what happened because it was these little reels of tape. So I don't know if we didn't have big enough reels to get it all, and we didn't know how many songs we were going to do.
Right.
And they ended up giving us another song to play out the show or something. I forget what it was. And so we did. Oh, we also did. That's what it was. We did a commercial too.
And as our good friends the Dubonnays always
I'd
say,
have to go back and listen to it. But anyway, it was more than we thought we were going to get to do live.
Right.
So we just told his brother, just hit the button and let it go. And sure enough, the old reel just finally spun out, and that was all we could get.
Was it 8-track or 4-track that you got in late 80s that I remember?
That was actually an 8-track, 8-channel recorder. So it was 1-inch tape.
Right.
And
what year are we talking?
We're talking 1988,
Okay.
89.
He had an old school, camera on the shoulder, bag, tape in the side, broadcast quality in, 845.
Well, for that point.
Oh, it was amazing, and for whatever reason, he let you borrow it one weekend.
Right.
And I was visiting a visitation, right? And we just decided let's make a movie.
Right.
That's what actually inspired me, because I'm 9 years old and I'm in a movie.
Right. Oh yeah.
I'm in a movie. None of my friends were in a movie. And this wasn't like a home movie. We had titles. We put titles on.
Right.
We threw it on the ground and just.
And we had edits in there, from different angles and different shots to illustrate what was going on.
You remember the door, the swinging door?
Yes, and we
Total
had
luck.
Yeah, we swung. He's coming out of the porch and the door swings
from
behind. And then I thought, well, we got to get it from the front. So he goes back in, and we shoot it again, and boom, we hit it again.
Yeah. So I think what was exciting was that we were both discovering the magic of editing.
And video.
Right.
Just video in general.
Editing.
Right.
How to pace for story. How to pace.
And what shots you need in order to tell the story.
Right.
Because sometimes a single shot won't tell the story.
You had two of those types of cameras.
Well, what happened was the first camera got damaged somehow.
No, I remember how it was. We were shooting Slick Tracy, and you're walking up the steps. You were holding it down here, and you hit a step.
With it. Right.
But we had already booked everybody there. Parents are dropping off kids. You had to go out and buy a new one.
I had to go out and buy a new one, and then have that one repaired.
But then you got that fixed.
And then I got that one fixed, so I ended up with two.
But which was then that made it very easy to do it because they were the exact same models.
Exactly.
So they looked great.
By the way, still have them.
Do you still
work.
have them?
They still work.
Wow.
I've actually thought about using them for effect. From years ago, Christmas videos and stuff like that. And I'll forget, Lana, my wife Lana, used to say at the time, you have to carry that thing around. And then recently we played some of those.
Right.
And she goes, oh, I'm so glad you did that. I'm like, really?
Well, and this comes to what you do.
Right.
Is getting stuff off tape and making it digital is really important.
Yeah, I've done an awful lot of analog to digital, and I mean, some of this is priceless footage. Like somebody took a old 8mm film, and they put them on DVD. Had a company put them on DVD, which obviously still is going to be lost, you know. And then from there, I took those. So I've seen video from the late 30s, early 40s, and it's just amazing some of the stuff people have. Some people aren't even aware. Like let's say a relative passes away and you got a box of this, and they look at this stuff and they say, how am I going to play this stuff? Yeah. And that's where I come in.
Yeah, no, and that's what's nice about digital is that no matter what the formats are going to be in the future,
right?
Which it looks like there are no formats anymore. It's just streaming the digital piece from what. At least you have it saved as a core that can go any way you want. Hell, you can even put it back on VHS if you really want to. So, and now you got your green screen. And I've seen you have a lot of fun with that.
Yeah, I'm having a ball with that. For our purposes, it works really, really well. So, and I've already got companies that use it every year. Yeah. And they're happy as hell that I finally went to green screen on this, because now I can shoot them and put virtually anything behind.
And you're still able to record singers and all that stuff.
Yeah, we're using Pro Tools now instead of using all the big heavy-duty boards and all that stuff. Everything's done on Pro Tools. I try to work with singer-songwriters and people that are extremely creative, have a really unique style of writing, unique style of singing, and they're marrying the two together and coming up with some really, really fascinating projects.
For video production, are people giving you like raw footage and you got to edit it all together and put all the titles and you're doing all that?
If they want to shoot a project, that's a whole different ballgame.
Right. But you are capable of doing that.
Right. In other words, let's say you own a car dealership or something like that. So what we would do is we would green screen your portion of whatever it is, if you're going to be the person speaking, and then we would go out to the dealership. And videotape maybe some cars going in and out of a service area or go to the physical, and then just shoot some video. I mean, it's going to end up being a 30-second commercial. And then, you piece it all together, get the message across, whatever additional graphics, the sale price, whatever, that kind of thing. Industrial films is another thing where they do an annual report, and they prefer to do that as opposed to some PowerPoint presentation, But again, it's really whatever the customer wants. We don't stop until it's right. Yeah. If a family comes to me and says, look, we've got all this stuff, and we really would like to encapsulate it into some sort of a history of our family, I'm your guy. There's a certain gratification when you get that reaction from the people and they go, oh my God.